Salwete. We are continuing with lines 201 to, in this video, 208. And in the lines from line 57 to 200, the Trojans have talked with Sinon, a Greek who lies about the Trojan horse. He says he was supposed to be a human sacrifice, and he claims the the Greeks have left permanently and given up the fight, and that the horse is an offering to Minerva, or Athena, Pallas Athena, and that the Trojans would do well to take it into their city. And the Trojans, of course, don't know that it has Greeks inside of it, and all the Greeks are hiding out behind the island of Tenedos, waiting for them to take the horse into their city and breach the walls. Now you will remember Laocoon from the lines we just read. He was the one who spoke out against the horse. He threw his spear into its side, had his famous line, Ne credite equo tucri, don't trust the horse, Trojans. And also, Timeo Danaos et dona ferentes, I fear the Greeks, even bearing gifts. So we're going to pick it up again with Laocoon after this 150 lines or so of Sinon. And he's going to be sacrificing a bull at the altars, and some bad stuff is going to happen. So let's pick it up here. Laocoon ductus Neptuno sorte sacerdos, solemnes taurin gentem mactabat araras. Got Laocoon, the subject, and he is ductus, that goes with him, led, as a sacerdos, also goes with Laocoon. He is ductus sorte, these go together. He is led by lot, meaning they draw lots. We talked about this earlier, I believe, in book 1. They draw lots, kind of like Jonah and the whale, if you know that story. It's an ancient way of seeing what the fates want, or what the gods want. He is led by lot, kind of like drawing straws, as the priest for Neptune. So that Neptune is dative. Priest for Neptune. And he is done by lot. That is ablative, so I'm going to give that a blue. Sorte. So this is Laocoon, the priest, led by lot for Neptune. Maktabat, there's your verb, was slaughtering. And gentem taurum, a huge bull. He was slaughtering a huge bull ad aras solemnes, at the solemn altars. Let's use a different color for that, just so we can see them both. Now that's an accusative also, with ad, solemnes aras, and if you see this here, you have a nice chiasmus. You got A, B, B, A. Now it's true, it's accusative, all accusatives, but solemnes goes with aras, and taurum goes with ingentem. So I think you'd still consider that a chiasmus. So one more time, that whole thing. Laocoon, chosen by lot as priest for Neptune, was slaughtering a huge bull at the solemn altars, or the sacred altars. Ecautem gemina tenedo tranquilla per alta oresco referens immensis orbibus anguis incumbum pelago pariter quad litore tendunt. Behold, ecce, now, or however, behold now, gemini, you got way down here, angues, twin, angues. I think we call that enjambment when we have a word on one line that goes with a word on the other line, and they're quite far away from each other. Twin snakes. Atenedo, and you gotta say, Far says say venientes, coming from Tenedos. But I think it's implied somewhat there. Per tranquilla alta. Now those two go together. Tranquilla alta, through the still deep. This is alta. This is, you got to put in mare or aqua here. The tall, the deep waters, right? Alta is the deep, through the still deep depths. And then Horesco referens. This is Aeneas saying, I shudder. The subject is ego, right? I shudder, referens, retelling it. So of this little clause here, Aeneas is the subject, and this is a present active participle modifying him, retelling it, I shudder. And this is nice because it reminds us that Aeneas is narrating it for us, and that he is disturbed and traumatized in his retelling it. It's difficult for him to retell these tales. Immensibus orbibus. Now those are ablative, and they're describing the verb incumbent down here. So incumbent, they laid upon the pelago, and that's dative because it goes with incumbent. And I didn't forget about immensibus orbibus. And how did they lie upon the sea? Immensibus orbibus, with huge orbibus, coils. Orb means circle, right? With huge coils. So one more time. Behold now, twin snakes. I don't know what you want to do to remind yourself that those go together. You could sort of connect it like this, but it gets a little messy. So, behold now, twin snakes coming from Tenedos. I shudder, retelling it. Lied upon the sea, through the still depths, with huge coils. You might remember this verb from when the winds went out. They lied upon the sea. And this is also, something destructive coming, and he uses the same word. I find that interesting. Pariter quad litora tendunt. And they equally, that's an adverb, tendunt, head for. Oop, that should be squiggly. Head for the litora, the shores. Poetic use of the plural here. To the shores. So there's a lot of descriptors in this sentence, and you don't have to do it any one way necessarily. You might notice I translate it in different order each time. I'll do it one more time. Look, behold, twin snakes coming from Tenedos, through the still depths. I shudder, retelling it. Lied upon the sea with huge coils, and equally they headed toward the shores. Pectora quor interfluctus a recta iubaeque sanguineae superant undas pars cetera pontum pone legit sinuat qui mensa volumine terga. Whose, now this is a relative pronoun, and it's referring to the snakes, right? Whose chests, bellies, okay, whose undersides, whose chests are recta pectora, those go together, whose upright chests, those go together, and que iubae sanguineae, and bloody manes, it's like their crests, okay, those go together, I'm connecting them like that. Right. And bloody manes. Again, we have this enjambment kind of thing here going on. Different lines, they go together. Whose upright chests, or maybe you could say whose chests upright between the waves. And bloody manes, superant, there's your verb, overpowered the undas, the waves. Pars caetera pontum pone legit. Pone means behind, and pars is the subject here. Part, legit, skims. Translate that as skims here. I know it can mean read also, or pick, but it's kind of like it picks along the waves. Have the idea that these are sort of slapping through the waves as they're chasing toward the shore, chasing Laocoon. Part skims the pontum, the sea, another word for sea right here. And that's the object of legit. Pone caetera, behind the rest. And sinuat, and folds, or coils, sinuat, its terga, its backs, and its immensa terga, its huge backs, volumine, with a roll. Volumine. I think the verb volvo means to roll. Volumine, with a roll. So one more time, that part. Whose chests, well, there's two of them, so I guess it is not necessarily poetic use of the plural here. Whose chests, or the chests of whom, upright among the waves, and bloody manes overpower the waves. Part skims the sea behind the rest, and folds its huge backs in a roll. So if you want to, you can picture this thing however you want, but if you think this is the sea, and then you want to, I imagine it's a serpent, kind of like one of these things, you know. And it's coming, it's got a bloody mane here, and this is its manes, and then its chest is this underbellies here, like that, right? And then the idea that this is skipping along, you know, between the waves, legate, skipping, and it's folding its huge backs with a roll. The idea that it's, you know, going through the waves like this and skipping along as it goes. That's what I picture in my head for this serpent that is coming toward Laocoon. And actually there's two of them. Remember, I'm not going to draw two, but there are twin snakes, Gemini angues. Well, before we leave you with this horrible sight, just one last little note I want to make. I double-checked FAR real quick, and FAR seems to think, actually a translation I have seems to think that pars and caetera go together, and I think that this is true, and I think I missed this. So the other part, you could translate this like this: the other part skips the sea behind, and I think I was saying the part skips behind the other. So probably pars and caetera go together. They are the same case, number, and gender. So the other part skips behind on the sea, skips along the sea behind, and coils its huge backs with a roll. Okay, watch out, Laocoon. It's coming for you. Walete. See what happens next.